says here we need to factorize fully. Let's go ahead and do that. Factorize the expression fully. Okay, so we've got 1.3.1, right? Under 1.3 we've got x cubed minus 10 to the power of x squared plus 21x. Okay, great stuff. So now if you can see here, this looks like a trinomial. First thing first, you can see you've got an x there, we've got an x here, we've got an x here. So therefore, what does that mean? We need to take out a common factor. Great stuff if you said common factor, guys. So if we take out a common factor here at x cubed, remember guys, it must go back if you were to remove the bracket. So if you remove x here, you are left with x squared minus here at 10x squared. If you remove x, you're going to be left with 10 and 1x. Here at 21, if you remove x, you're only going to be left with 1, with 21 on its own. Right, so therefore with that, let's go. You can come here and then you're gonna have to say now x, then you need to solve this trinomial here. We're gonna do double bracket x and then x. What are the two numbers? When you multiply them together, they give you 21, but when you add or subtract those numbers, is going to give you 10. Do you hear my question, guys? Let me say that again. What are the two numbers? When you multiply them together, they give you 21, but when you add or subtract them, they give you 10. Can only be two numbers. It's going to be 7 times 3. But do this 7 have to be negative times negative as well, so that it gives us a positive number there, 7 and a 3. Then when you add these two numbers together or subtract them, when you say negative 7 plus negative 7, let's see, negative 7 plus negative 3, it gives us what? 21. So which means what we just did here, it is correct. All right, if you're still struggling with factorization, please let me know on the comment section below. I will link a video that specifically explains how to factorize, the difference from or factorize dots, trinomials, difference between two squares, how to take out a common factor, when do you do which method to use, grouping, and all those kind of methods that you need for factorization. Let me know on the comment section below if you are still struggling with factorization. I'll do my best to show you as many videos as you can on this channel that are explaining exactly that part and with different examples thereof. Right, so let's have a look at 1.3.2 is going to be x squared negative z2 plus x plus z. Okay, great stuff. So now let's see how do you deal with a question like this one here. What you can do here, you have a look at this part here. This part here is difference between two squares, as you can see. And if you have got a square and a square, and then you just have to come here and say double bracket. The other one has to be positive, the other one has to be negative. Okay, difference between squares, guys. You know how we deal with difference between two squares in this way, and then z plus x will just remain as that, right? And that's how you would deal with a question like this one. Or you can also remove a common factor or not. Let me just have a look at this one right here. What can you do? Okay, great stuff. So you have got that and that. If you can see here, not really. Can you remove the bracket? No, you can't. Okay, yeah, and this is how you would deal with this one here. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, I think you can also take out a common factor. If I look at this properly, you can take out a common factor of x plus z. Therefore, it means here, in this case here, you are going to be left with, x minus z. So that when you remove the bracket, you will go back there, and then here you are going to have plus 1. Okay, yes, you're going to have plus 1, therefore close bracket. Great stuff. So you took out a common factor of that. Great stuff. Okay, now let's move on to 1.4. 1.4 says that you need to solve for x. All right, I hope you guys were still together here. I'm trying to move as slow as I can to make sure that you guys fully understand me. If you don't understand, please leave a comment on the comment section below. I am Gaston Mapala. I specialize solely on mathematics and I love mathematics a lot, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy this lesson, and also you would fully understand, and it will be beneficial to you. All right, 1.4.1, it says that we need to solve for x minus 3 and then 2 minus x is equal to negative 2x. Okay, so what do we do first here? We've got a negative 2x here. What we do, we need to remove the bracket. So therefore, removing the bracket, you remember guys, binomial, first times first, last times last. Okay, first it's x times 2 is going to be 2x. X times negative x is going to be negative x squared, and therefore negative 3 times 2 is going to be negative 6. Negative 3 times negative x is going to be plus 3x. Therefore we have got a negative 2 on this side. Okay, so now if you have a look at this one here guys, we can take negative 2x squared this side. Okay, so we have got 2x there, and we've got a plus x here. So 2x plus 3x is going to give us 5x. Then we have got a negative 6 here. Then we take this 2 to the other side here. If it jumps an equal sign, it's going to change the sign. Plus 2x is equals to 0. All right, so now let's group the like terms. We've got 5x there, and then we have got also here 2x. So therefore it's going to be negative x squared. Therefore 5x plus 2x is going to give us plus 7x. Negative 6 is equal to 0. Therefore guys, we can't factorize here with a negative here, so we must divide everything by negative 1. Negative 1 here, negative 1 there, negative 1 there, so that we are left with a positive x squared here. Negative times negative is going to give us positive x squared, then minus 7x, then here we're going to have plus 6. Okay, so now we're left with a trinomial, the one we're familiar with. Now we need to factorize this trinomial here. What are the two numbers? When you multiply them together, they give you 6. We only have two numbers. We only have 6 times 1 and then 2 times 3. So the number that when you add or subtract will give us 7 is these two numbers here. So we're going to have put a 6 there and a 1, but we need to decide which one needs to be negative. Both of them needs to be negative. Why? Because here is a positive number there. Okay, because here we've got a positive number. So therefore it means now x will have to be equal to 1 or x is equal to 6. Okay, great. Now let's move on here and see that we move on to question. Now we are in question. I'm gonna put a line here so that we don't get confused. Now we're moving to 1.4.2. right? So we have got an exponent here which is 3 to the power of 3x minus 1, and therefore it's equals to 27 x minus 18. Okay, so now on this equation here, let's have a look. We are given that and that. So if you have a look at the lowest number here, guys, a trick, the lowest number is 3, so it means we need to change this 27 and make it a 3 as well. 18, we can leave it as it is because it's a constant number. We don't have to really change it. It's fine. We're not too worried about this one. Okay, so now let's see. Now we have got a 3 here. It's going to be 3x minus 1. Okay, So therefore now here we can change this 27 you can change it to be 3 to the power of 3 gives us 27. So when you multiply this 3 with this x, is going to be just x minus 18. Therefore we take all the x's to that side. But also guys, remember when you're solving for x, you need to break this thing apart. You're gonna say 3x, and then before it became bases were the same initially, then we had to add the exponent. That's why we ended up with 3x minus 1. So therefore you break it apart, break this exponent apart guys, and then you take this one to this side. It's going to be negative 3 to the power of 3x is equal to negative 18 on the other side. Okay, great stuff. So now if you have a look at this thing guys, you have got 3 to the power of 3x, and here you've got 3 to the power of 3x. What does that tell you? It tells you that we have got a common factor. Indeed, we're going to take out this common factor 3x. So if we remove this 3x, what are we left with? We're left with 3 to the minus 1. Here if we remove 3 to the power of 3x, we're left with negative 1 close bracket is equals to negative 18. Great. So now listen very careful. When you reach this stage, you can simplify this first guys, or you can go to your Casio calculator and then just divide by this, because now you are looking for this to be alone. 3 minus 1 negative 1. I did a question like this in grade 11, and there's some reason the grade 11 they were not getting it because they were not pressing the calculator correctly. So now please make sure that you press the calculator correctly guys. Close, and then that's it. So negative 18, don't forget negative 18 all over in brackets 3 to the power of negative 1 minus 1 into your calculator. When you punch it, is going to give us is equal to 27 is our answer on the other side, which is also a positive 27. All right, so now with that we know that 27 we can still change it to make it also have a 3 to the power of 3 gives us 27. If the bases are the same and therefore you are solving for x, therefore it means the exponents are also equal. So therefore it means you're going to divide by 3 here, divide by 3, x is equal to 1. Now you can give yourself a round of applause if you got 1. Thank you very much. If you don't understand, let me know on the comment section below. Now let's move